My name is HUNID, and you're watching HUNID Speaks. Today we're here with Nyila Botello, and I'll go ahead and let you introduce yourself.
I'm Nyila Botello. I'm class of 27 and I attend Burbank High School.
All right, so getting right into it, what sparked your drive for you to play basketball?
I would say competing at higher levels when I was young and still doing it to this day. Like it makes me it challenges me a lot, and it motivates me to keep going and trying to keep up with older people, older groups. It's a challenge for me, and I like a challenge.
So playing up and playing against older girls, how do you think that that'll shape your career going forward?
Um, it will help me out, being prepared for say if I go somewhere, I go big, there's going to be, of course, competition, better girls than I've played against before. It's going to prepare me a lot. I feel like it helped me out.
What keeps you motivated to keep playing, and what keeps you having that drive every time you're out on the court?
I would say watching all these other girls work hard, grind, and they're so competitive with each other and they're so good. Like it makes me want to be just like them. Like it motivates me to keep on going, so I can get better and better, and I can be like them or even better.
You've been on varsity for your whole time at Burbank?
Yeah, freshman and sophomore year.
So what was the transition like from going from playing in middle school to coming into high school and being right on varsity as a freshman?
Uh, it wasn't like a big difference because when I was in middle school, it was like it was a little bit easy. It was easy, and then coming to high school ball, I mean, I feel like it's still kind of it's a little bit easy for me. Well, not easy, but it's not like a big. It wasn't a big jump. It was like a little bit.
Like hoops just come easy to you.
Yeah,
I feel you. I
yeah.
feel you. Have you always been dedicated to basketball your whole life, or was there another sport that you dabbled in along the way?
Um, yeah, it was soccer. I had played soccer for a couple years now, but I haven't played since my eighth grade year.
Okay, so once you got to high school, you locked in on your
Yeah, I
basketball.
really locked in on basketball.
Okay, got you. So when you were a freshman, how would you compare that whole experience for that whole season as to your sophomore season? How would you compare the two?
Wait, what do you mean?
So you're coming in being a freshman, being on varsity, and like you said, it came easy to you. But what was that like being a freshman at Burbank compared to being a sophomore at Burbank? Because your second year, you're a little bit more used to being at the varsity level, at the high school level, and stuff like that. So how would you say was the difference between the 2 years?
Um, the difference I would say, um, I feel like the teams got a little bit more better. I feel like we did have a little bit more competition. A lot of more people, they weren't taking us for granted like they were last year, so that gave us more energy, and it kept us not to take them for granted. Like it kept us still trying to play how we play and not snoop down to their level, because that's all we did last year was really just snoop down to other people's levels.
What was a team that this season that was the most challenging for y'all?
Uh, the most challenging, I would probably say McCullum.
McCollum.
McCullum, yeah.
What about in district?
In district, Sam.
So what made that game so tough for y'all?
Not having all our players in the first time we played them, we didn't have our starting five in, and it kind of just threw us off because most of us fouled out, and it was hard to really just. It was a tough game. It was a good game though, but it was tough mentally and physically. It was real tough.
How was it like meshing with your teammates? Of course, being on varsity for your first 2 years in high school. How was it like meshing with your teammates, your older teammates, the seniors on the team?
Um, I feel like we're really good at playing together. Like our chemistry has grew way more since last year, and I feel like that's what helped us out this year a lot too. Was we know how to play with each other now. We're still learning, of course, but this last year was our last year for our seniors, and we made the best out of it. We really did.
Got you, got you. What is a teammate that you would say played a mentor role for you, or just like a great helping hand in your growth as a player?
I would say, I would say, I would say my teammate Aubrey.
Aubrey, yeah,
Yeah, my teammate Aubrey.
she can
She's,
hoop.
yeah.
What about her gave you that extra help, that extra hand in your career as a player?
Um, she would always tell me to keep my head up. You know, sometimes it can get hard in a game, and some people just get in their feelings and they don't really know how to. But she really helped me. She always told me to pick my head up. Don't hold my head low, and she just told me to keep pushing, and I did.
Your coach and you have the same coach for both years, right?
Yes.
So how does your coach help you grow as a player as well, and what are new things that your coach has showed you to become better as a player?
Uh, I would say um, she was teaching us how to talk to each other, like as individuals, not just as teammates, but also as individuals, like how to talk to each other, how to communicate with each other, and then once we know how to do that off the court, we can do that on the court. And I feel like she really taught us good how to do that.
So helping y'all along the lines of teamwork and learning how
Yeah,
to come together.
yeah,
Got you. Great coaching. Great coaching. Are you confident in your abilities to become one of the leading roles on your team?
definitely. I feel like I trust myself enough to know that I could contribute to the team and lift my team up whenever they need it. I really do feel like that.
So where do you see your team at? And you could go as far as rankings or just mentally. Where do you see your team at next season? By the end of the season,
I see them. I see them winning district. I see us winning district. I see us getting to first round like we did the last 2 years. I feel like we could do it again for the third year, make it to playoffs.
great expectations. I'll be watching. I'll be watching out. So you actually the second athlete to do this segment of the show, and it's words of wisdom. So basically, you look right into that camera right there and share your words of wisdom to athletes all around the city.
This is a good one. So I can just like say anything.
Yeah, whatever you want.
I would say be coachable. Be coachable. No coach wants a athlete that can't be coached, can't take criticism. You got to take criticism. You mess up, you got to own up to it. You can't just always get in your feelings. You gotta stay tough. You gotta hold yourself accountable for everything that you do.
All right. So after the words of wisdom, which was great words, we should talk about a little of what you do as a student. So being a student athlete, how is it when you keeping up the grades and the sports at the same time? How do you balance those out?
Um, well, it's not easy, and I know everybody knows that it's not easy at all. But um, I feel like just staying on top of my work, like don't slack. Like I know it's hard, but like you just cannot slack, because then once you start to slack, it's hard to catch up. So if you're just on it from the jump, you should be good. Like always stay on top of all your stuff so you don't fall behind, because it's hard to catch up when you already fell behind.
That's good advice to the athletes, who fall back on their grades. I know a lot of athletes who they miss out on playing time just
Yeah,
by not passing their classes.
yeah.
So with you being able to keep up all of that, how do you like how do you do that? I know I couldn't do that. How are you able to keep your grades so high while playing at a high level on the court? You're not drained at all?
I am drained. I'm definitely drained, but um, you know, My mom pushes me. She tells me all these things about keeping my grades up, about how coaches want. I'm sorry. How that's the main thing coaches look at, like not just how you play. Like you can be the best player,
Right.
but it's all academic wise. Like, are you doing good in school? Are your
Right.
classes good? Like, what do your teachers have to say about you? Like, if you stay on if you stay on top of everything and you're on your teachers, even if because some teachers don't really put in the grades on time, but if you stay on top of your teachers, like then that will show them like, okay, like she's really, she's on top of her work, and that's a good thing. Like that's a good thing to always be on your teachers if they're not doing what they're supposed to, like.
Yeah. So, what is your advice to the student athletes who have already slacked off and fallen behind? Because I know a few who have great talent, absolutely great talent on the court, but the grades just it's all about the grades, and the grades aren't there. What is your advice to them who have already like failed classes and things of that nature?
If you already failed, I feel like you should bounce back. Like don't give up. You just gotta keep trying. If you give up, then you're not gonna be able to fix what you're trying to fix. You're just gonna give up. Just keep going. Try to get all that situated. Figure it out. Figure all your work out. What your teachers get with your teachers. If you need to meet with your teachers, if you need tutoring, like go to tutoring. Like do stuff that's gonna help you. Don't just sit and do nothing, because it's,
Right.
it's not gonna get fixed.
All about the little stuff. Do the little stuff right, it'll take you far. So, another topic I wanted to dive into, since the Final Four will be in San Antonio, who you got coming out? Who you got winning?
Um, who did USC just beat?
USC.
USC just played. Who they just
Ooh,
played?
I just watched that too. How did I
Yeah,
forget?
I just play. Juju's out. You know,
Mm,
hopefully Juju bounce back.
facts.
Um, who did they just play? Hold on, cause
You good? You good?
USC. They just beat. Oh, I can't find it. Kansas State. They just beat Kansas State. I have some. I have some. I feel like USC might come on top. Maybe North Carolina, but I feel like it's between those two.
I still can't believe that LSU lost
LSU, yeah,
again. I wanted LSU to win low key,
yeah.
actually.
Haley was cooking though.
Right,
Haley was
right.
cooking.
Flau'jae is tough though.
Florida,
Isn't she declaring for the draft?
I think so.
I hope so. She
Hope
has to
so.
at this point, right?
Maybe
Hopefully.
6'7".
Who you got with men's? Who you got with men's? I feel like you're gonna say Duke.
Duke, Duke,
Duke,
Cooper Flag. Come
Cooper
on now,
Flag,
Cooper
Cooper
Flag,
Flag.
Cooper
I don't
Flag.
know, like there's some competition. Like it's
Oh, there's competition for sure.
I look. I want to say Houston, but
Houston,
yeah, I want to say Houston, but I mean Duke. I think Duke is gonna like me. Is Duke?
Duke.
I think Duke is gonna win.
I
I'm
put
not
my
gonna lie.
money on Duke.
Put money on Duke, y'all. Who do you think is And we're gonna skip past the conference and all that stuff. Who do you think is gonna win the NBA Finals? See, we're coming down to playoff time. Who you got winning it all?
Mm, who do I got? Not Spurs. Uh, maybe next year. Maybe give them one more year. Maybe they get it.
Definitely.
I'll say. I don't know. That's a good one. That's a good one.
I got OKC.
OKC.
OKC could definitely win it all.
OKC. I got Boston.
Boston?
Boston.
Is that would be a repeat, right?
Boston.
Mm, I
Boston.
don't know. I don't know. OKC, don't they have like the best record, or was that the Cavaliers?
I don't know too much about that one.
I think I got OKC though for sure.
OKC.
Definitely. The Cavs gonna make a great run, but Shake,
Maybe not this year.
Shake cooking, Shake cooking, Shake cooking. But yeah, no, a great interview. You got anything else you want to talk about?
Uh, Not really.
All right, well, thank you for coming. That's gonna be it for this episode.